everyone, and look at this. What a wonderful place to be on a sunny May day. It is Spa-Francorchamps for the 6th round of the TCR International Series, and the sun is out to greet us. And I tell you what, there is no better place to be in the world than Spa-Francorchamps on a sunny day, with the crowds flocking in to see the World Endurance Championship as well. And we are going racing, just a slight delay in proceedings because of some damage to the barriers after the last race, so a slight delay, but there's such a positivity in the paddock, and it's so fantastic to be around the TCR International Series here in Spa. Loads and loads of representatives from various different manufacturers here to enthuse about being involved in the TCR International Series, and plenty of drivers very excited also to be part of it too. Max Potti on the pole position is one such driver from the TCR Benelux Series. We'll see some of these drivers stay on with us in Monza in a week's time. Others will disappear. There is where Francorchamps is. It is in the southern part of Belgium, but the northern part of Europe. Lovely little graphic they prepared for us. And here is the 7-kilometre circuit, reduced from 14, the original 14-kilometre circuit. Legendary, still half of it kept in the first and last sector of the laps, just a shortcut in the middle, all the corners basically, and gives it a very different flavour, sectors 1 and 3 to sector 2. Pepe Oriola will start second on the grid. Hopefully he's got some tyres that he can utilise in this race. Seat doing a bit of head scratching this weekend, not quite as dominant as you would expect, with both Nash and Hugo Valente far down the grid. Pepe obviously just scraping into the top 10 and therefore managing to get himself second position on this reverse grid race. Good crowds around the circuit, most of them in the first part of the lap, as per usual around Spa-Francorchamps. And here is the drivers' classification after our 5th race, which was yesterday. Jean Calvinet leads, now by a 15-point margin over Attila Tashi. Dusan Borkovic in 3rd, Kamini in 4th, all on the same points. And then Colciago just after that. And amazing to see that Ben Lezen's coming in, getting 2nd in his first race international, and moving directly into 11th position. As one of the experts of touring cars said to me, isn't it a bit strange that we've had 5 races and only the maximum amount of points is 66? The points being so shared out between so many drivers. It's not strange, it's fantastic, it's wonderful to see. Edo Mondron, another local driver, really fired up for this one. He starts on the 2nd row of the grid. And yeah, going back to my point, fantastic to have points being shared by so many drivers. It means that the championship's close. We've got 5 different winners out of the 5 races that we've had. Kajaya, Oriola, Colciago, Borkovic and Kamini. Our championship leader hasn't actually scored a win yet. He's been on the podium twice and 2 fourths. And that is Jean Calvinet. Here is the grid then. Potti, Oriola, Mondron, Coronel will line up alongside him, and then Tashi, watch out for those Hondas starting very well. And then we've got Vernet, Lezenz, Vervish and Kamini, our winner from yesterday. Let's watch and see what Stefano Kamini to do from 10th position. Franz Fitzer will be looking to try and get a good result from 11th. Kajaya in 12th in the Alfa Romeo. And then Morbidelli, Altoe, Pierre-Yves Courtal's the first of the Opals. And we move further down the grid. Say disappointment for Hugo Valente in 23rd position, and Duncan Indy rounding out the back of the field as the cars head off on the warm-up lap. It's going to be a long old warm-up lap. So what else can I tell you then? So much going on. Franz Fitzer having a drive shaft problem in qualifying, so disappointed. He drives the 2016 spec Seat, and the upgraded cars are the Bamboo cars, and the Bamboo guys are a little bit confused as to why Fitzer was so fast in qualifying. So a bit of head scratching, as I said, going on as to what Bamboo can do to try and find that pace. But as we spoke on our Facebook Live this morning to Jaime Puig, who is the boss of Seat Sport, he was very happy to see an Audi winning the race. And there's a real air in the paddock when you talk to Volkswagen, when you talk to Audi, when you talk to Seat, and even when you talk to Honda and Alfa Romeo. They all want to share the wins. They don't want, and it's really interesting to hear this from a manufacturer, they don't want to dominate the series. They want it to be shared out. They want this to be a success, and there's a real united front from all the manufacturers that we want to keep this racing close, and it is at the moment, and we want to keep it fair, and we saw some fantastically fair racing yesterday, and we want to keep your attention. So if you weren't with us yesterday, we have Tom Coronel on the grid this weekend, but also, most importantly, we have Rob Huff, the World Touring Car Champion from 2012, and he's joining the Leopard team for the rest of the season as a support to Jean-Carl Vernet. And a very, very clear message from those guys as well. He's here to help JK win. There is Vernet, 15 points ahead of the rest of the field. And yesterday, Rob sat on his tail and was his rear gunner, and JK almost feels spoilt by the situation. Rob will not be with us next weekend. He's got other commitments, of course. So we will see, apparently, a second Leopard car. Not sure who will be driving it, though. I speculated this morning that wouldn't it be fun to see Peter Solberg, who's obviously a Volkswagen-supported driver in World Rallycross, come and do for a weekend. And I was instantly told that's a silly idea. He likes four-wheel drive, not front-wheel drive. And actually, having seen him at the Race of Champions, I'm not sure he would actually do that well. He likes sideways. Cars round, halfway around the lap. One of the challenges is in this TCR International Series is to get the rear tyres warm. So if you are regular, you'll know I bang on about it a lot. That's why they're doing the weaving, but that's doing a lot to the front wheels, but it's not doing so much to the rears unless you can properly throw the car sideways. And only then you'll get a bit of scrub, and only then you'll generate some surface temperature. But they really need to know that those rear tyres are up to temperature when they throw the car into Eau Rouge for the first time, because if you don't have any rear tyre temp, then you're going to have a very slidey car. Dusan Borkovic in the Alfa Romeo. There he is. Last of the late breakers. Brand new Alfa Romeo for him this weekend. Different car to what he took victory in Bahrain. I think he's been wanting his old car back, but it's already on a container to China. So a lot of teething problems with that Alfa. It didn't do a shakedown before the race. The engine was on the dyno, but the actual chassis and various mechanical parts didn't do a shakedown, and a few failures in practice had really put him on the back foot. The Alfa Romeo definitely has pace. We've seen Kajaya up there. Of course, Borkovic is carrying success ballast from his Bahrain weekend as well. So the car was made a little bit heavier after the Bahrain weekend through BOP, and then it's got even more weight through success ballast. So Borkovic is going to have to kind of write off this weekend and hope that Monza is a better one. Inside the Com2U Racing garage, Belgian team, local team, running the VW Fun Cup, and Stefano Camini went to them and said, please help me, please, I need a drive. Not long before the start of the season, they came up with a plan. They spoke to Audi, got themselves an RS3, and now Camini is second in the championship, 15 points off Vernet, and looking again. James Nash tipped him to win the championship. He's in the right car, he says. Through the last corner, the chicane. Cars will form up on the grid. Much warmer than it was yesterday. The sun is really making the temperature of the circuit much better. It's about 7 or 8 degrees warmer than it was a day ago on the track. And certainly air temperature is much nicer. So not quite as much weaving and aggressive weaving as needed as it was yesterday. But it does put an extra strain on those front tyres that are doing so much work. 24 cars then line up on the grid for the TCR International Series, the second race here in Spa. Cannot wait to see how this one plays out. Green flag at the back of the field. 24 cars facing La Source. The lights go out and we go racing. Who's got a good start? It's Max Potti on the front row. A little bit of wheel spin, a little bit of smoke from behind. I think that was Mondron who got some wheel spin. And again, Tassi in the Honda trying to find a way through. Oh, and Tassi's got into the back of Oriola and taken Potti out. No, it wasn't Tassi, it was Coronel, I think. One of the two Boots and Gignon racing cars. There's another of the Lukoil cars going backwards at the back of the field. Pepe Oriola's recovered well, but one of the Boots on Gignons is going very, very slowly down towards the Eau Rouge. And who is that falling to the back of the field? I can't quite see. Everyone else gets through Eau Rouge okay. It is Lezenz in the mix. So it was Coronel who outbraked himself into La Source and caused mayhem. Oriola with a bit of rubbing going on his rear tyres, and Tassi is up to third position on the back of Huff, who's in second, and Mondron leads because Potti was also involved in that first corner accident. Tassi squeezes Jean Calvinet. He's got his elbows out today. Now down the inside of Huff. Just about backs out of that one. This is where you need to do the work. We've got Volkswagen 1-2-4 at the moment. Here come Ben Lezenz down the inside of Jean Calvinet. Great aggressive move from Ben. Second yesterday. And he's looking to try and get another podium, and down the inside of Tashi. Whoa! Hello, Ben Lezenz. He's just made his mark on the International Series, pushes Tassi wide, and Tassi's now going to be under pressure from Jean Calvinet. More blue smoke coming from Pepe Oriola. I think that is rubbing from the rubber on the rear bodywork rather than an engine problem. One of the West Coast cars goes very wide at Pouhon. Tassi now with Frederick Verviche behind him, and Camini down the inside of Verviche. Oh, teammates there side by side. Again, Verviche is not here for the championship. Camini very much is, and Verviche needs to play the team game like Huff and Jean Calvinet were doing yesterday. And to be honest, so was Frederick Verviche a little bit holding up Stefano Camini. And Hugo Valente managed to spin at the first corner and get into the pits, whereas Pepe Oriola is having to do a lap. I want to see a rear shot of Oriola to see just how much damage that car has. Maybe we can't quite see there because Fitz is so close to him. Oh, Vernet wide, Tassi wide, Camini wide. Now Camini looks down the inside of Verviche. Tassi on the defensive. Verviche can go around the outside here. And here's David Kajaya as well, trying to do the same thing. Kajaya down the inside of Camini. Has that worked out? I don't think it quite has. And he has to slot back behind Camini and defend himself because there's one of the Lukoil cars there, which I think is Pepe Oriola. Still smoking. Nash is going down the inside of one of the Opels of Pierre-Yves Courtals there, and he's made that one stick as Franz Fitzer goes very wide at La Source. Yellow flag is flying. We've got somebody off at the end of the lap, and we are investigating that first lap crash. But I think the blame is going to be on Coronel, who is dead last, and he is, I think, making his way back to the pits with probably damaged steering. I'd like to see it again because I'm blaming Coronel, but honestly, it could have been any of those top five. Mondron on the defensive, Huff to the outside, Ben Lezenz through the middle and into the lead, but he's going to break himself and put Huff into the lead. Now he's going to fall back down to third position. Brave move from Ben Lezenz, but it didn't quite work out for him. Distracted Max Potti, and now we have Rob Huff at the front of the field, and that is ominous. Oh, can Ben come every time, please? This is so entertaining. Vinay, let's catch up on who is where. Right, look to La Source, look to the front of the pack. What happened? This is what the race stewards will be looking at. Tilla Tassi, once again, got a really, really good start. 4 cars going in, and there was contact between, look at the orange and black car of Coronel and Oriola. Oh, Coronel, Tommy, late on the brakes, into the back of Oriola, and Oriola then collects Max Potti. And somehow, Hugo Valente from the back of the field, gets shunted by the 34 car of Sten Poulsen. This was a move on Tassi and Ben Lezenz. Now that is expert. That is beautiful touring car racing from Ben Lezenz. This was a bit of madness going through Blanchimont. Everyone not willing to back out of it. And Kajaya down the inside of Kamini there at the second part of the chicane, but had to back out of it again. Huff runs wide through Blanchiment. Stewards were saying they were going to be very aggressive about that in terms of track limits, but then didn't follow up with any penalties yesterday when we saw various people doing it. So I'm not going to pass judgment on whether there's penalties or not. There is a yellow flag still flying down there. I don't know for who. Green flag is now flying, but we haven't lost any cars. Maybe Coronel. He's now in the pits. Replay of Stefano Camini, looking to try and get past Frederick Verviche here. And he did it. That was whilst we were away then, so that was a lap later. The lap before, Verviche went round the outside of him. There is Tommy, out the car. I think he was saying the front's locked. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because he missed the braking point by a mile. Tassi's under pressure here from Stefano Camini. Verviche is having to defend from Kajaya. We know the Alfa Romeo has good speed down the straight. Mondron defending from Ben Lezenz, and Lezenz goes round the outside and into the lead. Nice move up into second position for Ben Lezenz, and he's going to come away from this weekend with a huge haul of points. Second position in race 1 and now second in race 2. I asked him this morning on the Facebook Live, are you coming to Monza? And he says, we need to talk about it. It wasn't to know. Certainly in terms of the championship, he's known as a one-off entrant here. But I think there might be a temptation to stick those cars in the truck and drive them down to Monza for next weekend, because he's going to pick up a huge points haul. Giacomo Altoe there, getting a bit squirrely. Morbidelli. It was Morbidelli, contact with Colciago, the two Italians getting in together at Brussels, and we caught the very end of the recovery there. That is for 15th position. So Lezenz now leads. No, Lezenz doesn't lead. Hang on, we lost Huff? Or was the timing screen wrong? No, timing screen is wrong. So Huff is leading. Lezenz, he had a minor heart attack then. Huff leads, Ben Lezenz second, Edo Mondron in third, Jean Calvinet fourth, Camini, Tassi, Verviche, Kajaya in eighth, Fitzer in ninth, Nash last of the point scorers at the moment, with Cortals and Oriola just behind him. Mondron looks to try and get past the Honda of Ben Lezenz. Honda emblazoned all over Ben Lezenz's car because he has support from Honda Benelux, and you have to remember that the Honda office, the European Honda office, is in Brussels, so not far away. Ben Lezenz is from just 50 miles away from Spa. Here is Kajaya. Down the inside of Verviche, takes the position. Nice work. And that is for 7th position. Verviche is going to try and fight back, but the Alfa's strong. There's no doubt about that. And it's a shame, really, that Kajaya made such a haulix, a mess of qualifying, because he could have been on the pole position. He might have well seen another winner the TCR International Series. But he had to start 11th, and he's now up to 7th position. And strong. Oh, a little clip from Ben Lezenz around the outside of Huff. You can't do that to Rob Huff. And quite rightly, Huff puts Ben Lezenz into a spin. Contact in the braking zone. Ben Lezenz drops down behind Stefano Camini, which is 5th position. But Mondron is now right on the tail of Huff, and JK, Jean-Carl Venet, in the 3rd of the Volkswagens, flashing his lights, saying, right, okay, don't take any points off me. You're a one-race entrant, Eduardo. I need to get past you, and if I can get past you, then I can get past Rob. Let's see what happens here. Huff on the defensive. Lezenz goes to the inside, the outside, and just catches him under braking, and then kind of turns in, and Huff was already there. What a shame. That was looking like it could have been a really good fight. And clearly, Ben Lezenz has got a wonderful Honda underneath him this weekend and knows this Spa circuit very well, but that is Huffy. He's raced here in World Touring cars, he's raced here in classic cars, he's raced here, I don't know if he's done the Spa 24 Hours GT race actually. Plenty of experience, Rob Huff. Goes without saying. At the moment, it's Volkswagen Golf 1, 2, 3. And then Kamini in 4th position, with Ben Lezen's back in 5th, the first the Hondas, and Tassi in 6th. Now, Tassi is going to be under pressure soon from David Kajaya. That Alfa Romeo there is wonderfully working his way up through the field again. Into Blanchimont. Huffy having to defend from Mondron. Doesn't look like Rob has that good a pace, actually. Certainly on the long straights, the slipstream effect of the Golf body shell is quite significant, and it's really towing the cars behind into himself. Side by side for second, though. Jean Calvinet on the outside, Mondron on the inside line. Don't want to fight this one too hard, boys. Tries to go all the way around the outside. It's not going to work, and Kajaya has a look to try and pass Attila Tashi. That doesn't work either. All this fighting is going to allow Stefano Camini to get a second podium of the weekend. So Jean Calvinet needs to be very clever about how he does this move, and Mondron needs to be very well behaved. Vavish has got past Kajaya, who was compromised out of La Source, and here comes Fitzer now in the first of the Seats. Fitzer in 9th position. Drag race between the two of them, and Stefano Camini ahead of them is trying to find a way past Vernet. Vernet to the outside, round the outside of both of them. Ho, ho, ho! Amazing move from Jean Calvinet. Certainly a little bit of help from Rob Huff there, no doubt about it. But Vernet onto the front of this pack and could be faced with his first win of the year. Oh no, there's been contact. Fitzer's facing the wrong direction again. He's fighting with Kajaya and, who was it, Kajaya and Tassi. That's up at Lecombe, so there's been a change there. And now it's time for Jean-Carl to scamper away. What's happened here? Oh, it was Kajaya, looks like. A bit of contact with Fitzer. Kajaya now in, where is Kajaya? 8th position. Well, the timing screens I'm going to ignore, because the timing screen is absolutely not telling me anything. Huffy apparently is no longer racing, although he's in 2nd position, and there is potential that we've lost Tashi as well. We have lost Pierre-Yves Courtels. The camera is showing us that, so the Opel having another disappointing weekend with, where is Hommler? Well, Hommler's now in the points according to my timing screen. Colciago behind Potty. Hommler on those standings saying he's in 10th position, so with 1 point for Opel, which will be good because actually he scored very few points, only 5, and that was only thanks to his pole position in Bahrain. Oh, a little bit deep into the chicane for Stefano Camini there. Let's see what happened. Wow, Mondron with a big slide through Blanchimont, just about gathers it up. And it was a bit later on that Stefano then missed his braking point. Okay, so Vernet, Huff, Mondron, Camini, Lezen, Vervish, Tashi, Kajari in 8th, Nash in 9th, and now Borkovic in 10th position ahead of Hommler. So that's a change in the last lap. And this is the battle just outside with Colciago, Morbidelli and Potty. That's 14th, 15th and 16th. Really need to see that, to be honest. Here is the leaders then. Vernet starting to scuttle away, and Mondron looking really, really racy on the back of Rob Huff. I don't know whether Rob is just not got the pace, or he is purposefully backing everybody up so that they don't attack Jean Calvinet. But I'll tell you what, Mondron needs to get his elbows out a little bit and start pushing him along. Didn't work out for Ben Lezenz, but Ben probably didn't do it quite in the right position. No investigation into that contact. For the moment, it's a Volkswagen 1-2-3, and with some of the leading bosses of Volkswagen here. This is going to be a very celebrated success, that's for sure. 1-2 last year, the Leopard Racing team, with Jean Calvinet taking his first victory of the year at this circuit. And it looks like it may well repeat itself. This will be JK's 4th victory if he holds on. Great to have Rob Huff on the podium as well. Edo Mondron is the older of the 2 Mondron brothers. And they were, got somewhere, they were 6th in last year's TCR Benelux Championship. But actually the car that he's driving here this weekend is not the car that he normally drives in the TCR International Series. It's normally in the Seat that his brother has. Where is his brother? 12th position. So this is the teammate's car of Romain Delevey. A little bit wide through La Source, and here's Fitzer making up some positions down the inside of Duncan Indy, but that is for kind of last position really, because Homola's now gone into the pits as well. We've lost both of the Opals, we've lost Pepe Oriola as well, and now Kajaya in the Alfa Romeo. We know it's strong. It's got a strong engine. And up Eau Rouge, sitting on the tail of Attila Tashi. This is the battle for 7th position. And what can he do? Kamini, now Kamini's found a way past Edo Mondron up into 3rd position. Mondron's going to try and go around the outside here, but Kamini surely is just going to edge him off the circuit. He does, and Kamini moves up into the podium, or onto the podium for the 2nd time this weekend, and really igniting his championship fight. What happened behind? Tashi held on ahead of Kajaya, so that's good. I did say yesterday it was Tassi's 1st podium, but it's a complete lie, because his best result in the TCR International Series came in 2nd position in Georgia. And it's very strange, isn't it, to see the Honda of Ben Lezen's doing so well. Obviously they've got better tyres. They have more tyres available to them, being new to the championship. But very interesting to see Tashi so much faster than Colciago this weekend. And they are teammates at the Mira team. And there were huge amounts of support from Honda in that team as well. Colciago dominated the Italian championship last year, but has just been off colour this weekend. Really just not been able to equal either Ben Lezen's Boots and Gini on Honda or even his teammates. And down in 13th position at the moment. Plenty of cars that retired, as I say. Valente, Coronel, Paulson, Mola, Cortals, Homola and Oriola all in the pits. So still 17 runners on track. Obviously the stewards have decided to ignore track limits around Blanchimont. We've got a warning for Kajaya through turn 3, which is Eau Rouge. But not through Blanchimont. Right, on to our 8th lap, so 2 laps to go. Mondron looking to try and find a way past Kamini. Ben Lezen's needs to try and get past them as well to continue his points haul. This, by the way, whilst we've got a break in the action, is the 50th TCR International Series race. So who will take the honour of being our 50th race winner? Actually, not 50th race winner, because we've had, how many? We've had 18 different race winners here. And actually, Rob Huff is already a race winner, because he won in the 1st year in Macau. So it won't be a new race winner. Ben Lezen's then, trying to go around the outside of Mondron. Can he make this happen? Can he hold the inside line? Side by side again to the 3rd part, but Mondron's going to have the inside line through the last part of Le Combe and holds on. Now heading down to Bruxelles. He has to go to the outside again. This will be brave if he goes all the way around the outside here. 3 Belgians together. Mondron from Brussels. Ben Lezen fractionally closer. And then Frederick Verviche in the Audi behind. And no change. So it's for 4th position now, because Stefano Camini's got through. And I have a funny feeling that really the race is going to be between the WRT Leopard Racing Volkswagens and the Come To You Audis. Just look so dominant here, those 2 teams. They're both Belgian teams. They both had a lot of experience around Spa. maybe when we come to a place like Monza, where we've raced before, maybe someone like come to you don't have quite so much experience, then things will change. But you also have to remember that all of these guys, Venet, Huff, Camini, Mondron, Lezenz, all raced last weekend in the TCR Benelux Championship. So all had a couple of hours experience with these identical cars, with the identical tyres, and that's effectively been a testing session that some of the other drivers on the grid, especially the Lukoil Bamboo guys, didn't do. So that's been a bone of contention for certainly the Bamboo team guys, to say, look, we're on the back foot here. We don't have as many tyres because we are full season entrants. Although that doesn't apply, of course, to Jean-Carl Venet and Stefano Camini, who are first and third. So it's only half an argument. But also, we don't have the experience of racing around Spa. Only one race last year, one visit last year, and that's all they had. So Morbidelli and Fitzer nailed together. That is for 14th position, just ahead of them. Tashi still holding off David Kajaya. This is for 7th, sorry, with Nash the only Bamboo car still running, and he's in 9th position. Oh, Deavit looks very, very good up Eau Rouge this time, right on the back of Attila Tashi. But now it's the drag race down to Les Combes, up the Kemmel Straight. This is an incline, so really requires a bit of grunt. Nothing going on ahead, sorry. So Kajaya to the outside, and has he made it stick? Tries to turn in, tries to squeeze Tashi, just about managing. Now he needs to force Tashi wide, otherwise Tashi's going to have the inside line here, and he does, and Tashi holds on once again. What about Nash? How can Nash capitalise on this? He has the inside line on Kajaya and the overlap, and takes the place. Whoa, no, but brakes fail him. He runs wide, and Kajaya snatches it back. Final lap then. Tyres at their least best. And I think we just saw a huge bundle of understeer push James Nash wide through Brussels, therefore he couldn't hold on. Kajaya's really now only got one more opportunity to get past Tashi. No, he hasn't. Tashi's run wide. Tashi's off at Pouin, and he's let both of them pass. A mistake from Attila Tashi. Oh, disaster from 7th position down to 9th. And it's Kajaya who's benefited. The Georgians will be cheering. Took a victory in the first weekend of our championship. There's Borkovic's teammate. Now with the potential, no, he has got points. He's got past Altoe, so Borkovic is now in 10th and will pick up a point. Came into the weekend 2nd, now 3rd. Kajaya is 7th, because he hasn't picked up no points after Georgia. So good to have Kajaya 7th and with points. A team effort from the Leopard Racing team. Jean-Carl Venet takes the victory with Rob Huff 2nd, and therefore a 1-2 for the Volkswagen team. Still squabbling down at the chicane with Borkovic and Tashi, and Altoe tries to go round the outside. A drag race to the line. Kajaya ahead of Nash and Tashi, and then I think Altoe, yes, just got it ahead of Borkovic. So Altoe picks up 1 point, and I think that's his first point of the year, is it not? Yes, it is. No, it's not. Sorry. Altoe then picks up 1 point. Congratulations to the WRT team, to the Leopard Racing team. A 1-2 at Spa, their home circuit last year, and a 1-2 again this year. And JK scampers off in the lead of the championship. His 4th win of the year, of TCR, sorry. His 4th win of TCR, his 1st of the year. And he is the 6th winner so far. There's an investigation going on for Fitzer for unfair advantage over track limits, but that doesn't matter. He's out of the points anyway. There we go, teammates working together. JK and Rob Huff. JK is going to miss having Rob not around him in Monza, that's for sure. It's great to see, actually. It's not just on track, it's off track as well. You see the difference Personality-wise, JK is really chilled, really smiley, really enjoying his racing. And having Rob Huff around him. There's Vincent Vos. Great job, he shouts to his drivers with the very familiar flat cap that he wears. And Stefano Camini, where is he? There's his smiley face, because he should be happy with his weekend's work. Up into second very much now in the championship. And actually, there'll be some big gaps when we go into Monza next weekend. But JK will take the maximum success ballast, I think. Oh, actually, no, Stefano Camini will. He'll take the success ballast of 30 kilos. JK will have 20. And probably Ben Lezen will take 10 if he comes to us. Absolutely fantastic to see the young WRT Leopard Racing team getting loads and loads of success. Who is coming on the podium? That's the question. There's the boss of Volkswagen Motorsport just walking out of shot. And great to have representation here to see this and to celebrate it. There is our paddock. Lots of very important people down there. Confirmation of the result. Jean Calvinet takes victory ahead of his teammate Rob Huff, with Stefano Camini, race 1 victor, in 3rd position. A strong, strong podium. Mondran Lezenz having that Belgium Benelux fight in 4th, Vavish in 6th position, and then Kajaya ahead of Nash, Tashi and Altoe, your point scorers. Borkovic will be very frustrated not to pick up a point, having missed out on that last corner. Mondran Colciago is going to be scratching his head and to find out what's going on there. Tom Coronel was the man that caused all the problems in the first corner, knocking out Pepe Oriola and Max Potti. And this is, in fact, exactly where it happened. Watch the orange car at the moment in 4th position. Onto the brakes, locks the brakes, punts Pepe Oriola out of the way, and Max Potti gets clouted as well. And further back, Hugo Valente also gets collected by Stein Poulsen, who was also completely out of control, wasn't he? Was that? No, it wasn't. It was Jens Moller. Great racing early on from Ben Lezenz, who made his way up through the field, past Jean Calvinet, then past Attila Tashi. Got very messy on the first lap through Blanchimont as they all try to do it flat out with cold tyres. And at this point, Rob Huff was leading. Camini then started to make his way up to the field. He'd been struggling to get past his teammate Vervish the lap before, but that was an easy move ahead. And then Vervish under pressure from David Kajaya. That little Alfa Romeo scuttled its way through and into the point-scoring positions. This was the moment that Ben Lezenz touched Rob Huff, then turned in with Huffy already there. A little bit of inexperience from the Belgian, and ended up down in 5th position. Huff doing a little bit of jiggery-pokery here, blocking Edo Mondran and allowing teammate Jean Calvinet to go past the both of them and into the lead. Huffy very much here to help the team and Vernet win the championship. Contact with Kajaya, spat Fitzer onto the grass. Disappointment for the Hungarian, who was hoping for so much after good qualifying. Another young Hungarian, Altieri Tashi, running wide at Pouin, giving up his 7th position to Kajaya and Nash. Kajaya moving up, Nash getting some points for Bamboo and for Sayat. And by the end of the race, Jean Calvinet had a comfortable advantage over Huff. Huff had done his job in 2nd position for 1-2, and Stefano Camini will be very happy with a 1st in race 1 and a 3rd in race 2. Very much a team effort from WRT and Leopard Racing. And it means John Calvinet has a huge advantage over Stefano Camini. In second position, Attila Tasci holds on to third position, 2 points ahead of Borkovic, who does not score. Colciago does not score, neither did Oriola. And Kajaya in seventh position, Valent and Nash. And Ben Lazen's in the top 10, but yeah, 60 points behind Jean Calvinet. In the background, you can hear the marching band getting ready and warming up for the World Endurance Race, which is kicking off shortly, and all the grid preparations for them. But we need to get our podium underway, and also hear from our race winner. Here is the clip. The marching band. Thank you to everybody around the world who's been watching on our social media channels and also on TV. Fantastic to have people from all kinds of arenas of the world. And let's hear from Jacob.
Congratulations, exactly the result you needed.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic race. I mean, I was lucky with the two Volkswagen up front, so we can really have a good draft. And no, I have to thank my team. I have to thank my teammate, Rob. I mean, he did an amazing job. I mean, just taking care about me after I overtook him. Nothing more to say. The car was great. We just did like really good team playing. And no, that's cool. We're leading. I'm gonna have a lot of weight in Monza, but we don't care. We're not gonna be fast there. It's too quick for our car. But no, thanks Leopard, thanks WRT, thanks Volkswagen, of course. Just really happy. They did an amazing job. We took like a decision to change the car a bit yesterday. They didn't sleep long, and it worked. So really happy that we made the right change.
6 different winners, 5 different brands. It's a really open championship already.
Yeah, it's open. Of course, it's going to be open. I mean, Comini will be quick. The Audi is, I think, maybe the quickest car. Honda will be there. I mean, Seat, for sure, the local guys will be back up front. So I think it's going to be really tough, and we just have to score points. And now I have 1 year experience in TCR, and it worked well right now. So let's continue this way.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there will be some of that thinking going on, with the teams working out where they'll be strong and where they'll be weak, and happy then to sacrifice one weekend for success in another weekend. And that's exactly what JK was saying. The car will be heavy in Monza, but they didn't think that would be a good place for this car. It's not the most aerodynamic of all of the shapes, and therefore don't expect to see JK have such a points advantage after Monza next weekend. Camini second in the championship will be probably stronger. I think we'll see Tassi and Borkovic back up there. The Alfa Romeos should be very good on the long straights. Although, under braking, Borkovic we've always seen a little bit on the edge. But Seats also will be a good package, and just never know in TCR, do you? You could have guessed a little bit that the Volkswagens would be good here. They were good last year with the team that knows the circuit so well. You wouldn't have guessed perhaps the weakness of the Seats, but as JK says, that will completely change when they go to Monza. Monza's the next round in a week's time, and then a small gap before we go to the Salzburg ring, which is another really fast circuit. So technical circuits where the Volkswagens perhaps enjoy a little bit. Good balanced chassis around the back part of the track. But some really, really, really amazing names on this podium. Stefano Camini, winner of race 1, third in race 2. a world champion on the podium. Rob Huff, second position. And then Jean-Carl Venet, winner once again in Spa. He said, it's not my favourite circuit, but it will be if you take a victory and stand on the top step of the podium. Now it's time to hear the French national anthem. Some noisy single-seaters in the background, but we could just about hear the French national anthem being played out. And once again, these awesome trophies that we commented on yesterday. Look at that, really cool. Great to have the that spar, that iconic kind of gun shape. And there is Yves Baclen, who is our sometime chief steward and also the president of the RICB, and therefore for this weekend very much representing Belgium here. And here is the other president, Roland. So we have two presidents. Yves Baclen being, I think he's a steward for the WEC this weekend, but he'll be our steward next weekend, I'm sure, in Monza. Stefano Camini. Big parties at ComTU all weekend. They're enjoying being in TCR, and they're enjoying their home circuit. These, all three, racing at their home track. So huge congratulations for Jean-Carl Venet. Very happy to have Rob Huff as his teammate for the remainder of the series. And Stefano Camini has really opened up his championship now as we move to Monza in just a week's time. So you make sure you join us. The Pommery Sprays. And we say thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again.